Ever since I was around 16, 18 years old, I always felt a little bit different. When I was a teenager, I thought I was a bit of an alien. As I went through into my 20s and then late 20s, early 30s, I began to see that my thought processes were different to those around me, my peers, my friends, my family. I started off by going to the doctor age 39 and saying, could you possibly investigate to see if there's anything going on in my brain that's making me a little different to other people? He said he'd meet with me 3 times to make a diagnosis to see if he could find anything that made me a little bit unique or a little bit different. And by the end of the first 1 hour session, he said, I don't need 2 more sessions, although we're definitely going to meet again. I know for sure that you've got Aspergers syndrome, which puts you on the autistic spectrum. As soon as he said it, I just felt like crying, because it was the greatest relief I've ever had. Within the first 3-4 months of the diagnosis, everything began to change. I suddenly became a lot more forgiving and less punishing of my own behaviours. All these things began to just slot into place like a neat and comfortable jigsaw. And I suddenly started thinking, well, that's why I've never been very good at that. That's why I've never really understood this. The way it affects me is in many different areas. I'm constantly scared of everything. I'm permanently anxious all the time in most areas of my life, and I'm really trying to learn how to find tools to address that. Asperger's in particular, and I think many other types of autism too, is often accompanied by a second or even a third condition. So I seem to have three. I have Asperger's, which is accompanied by quite high anxiety, but also OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm quite stringent and rigid with regards to cleaning and bacteria hygiene, that sort of thing. I feel as though the description about Asperger's, about people finding eye contact particularly difficult, that's definitely the case for me. It can go either way, because if I'm particularly fond of somebody or relaxed with them, eye contact can be either an absolute breeze and you forget all about the fact you're nervous at all, or alternatively you're so determined to get it right that you become more twitchy and anxious and you suddenly can't do it. From the age of babyhood until I was 40, I felt like a weirdo. I don't think I'm a weirdo anymore. I think I'm a person with a condition known as autism called Asperger's, and just because I'm articulate does not mean that I don't struggle with certain parts of my life. In my role within this company, Carr Gomm, I'm really honoured to say that it's my role to look after 2 people who have autism. They're on the spectrum, and their personalities are totally different from each other. And sometimes when I see them out and about in public, and the way the general public respond to their behaviours and their actions and their speech and every facet of them being them, I can see that people aren't looking at the bigger picture. They're making assumptions every time. Instead of saying, maybe we've got something slightly different going on here. It's like one of the gentlemen that I support may come across as being drunk on alcohol. He isn't. He doesn't drink alcohol. He has autism, and he's quite an angel of a person. He's an amazing man.